Hello, everyone. Have you ever taken pride in being the person in the room who doesn't need anything from anyone, the one that has it all? Maybe you are the one in the office that everyone looks up to. You never ask anyone for help. You are the reliable one, the one who figures it all out. You work the late hours, you handle the crisis before anyone else even know that there was a problem. For years, you won your independence like a badge of honor. You might even call it your greatest professional strength. But I want to ask you today, this is a very short episode. I want to ask you this question that might feel a little bit uncomfortable. Is your independence a choice or is it a shield? Today on Rhoda 360, we are peeling back the layers of hyper independence. Why are we hyper independent? Why are we available at any time, anywhere? We are talking about why, the I've got it mentality. You always have it. I've got it. Even at night, I've got it. Got it. You're always there. Kind of mentality is often less about being a high achiever and more about, a nervous system that has learned, not to depend on anyone. It's not about ability. I don't see hyper independence as about ability, but about, that system, that mentality that it wasn't safe to ever rely on others. But then, while that may work in some instances and some circumstances, in a professional world, we reward independence, right? We promote the self-made person that has it all. But in a world of mental health and trauma recovery, hyper-independence is recognized as a trauma response. Yep, somebody will say Rhoda has come with her trauma talk again. But that's true. Because usually it stems from a time in the past, maybe childhood, or a previous relationship, or a previous job, or a period of instability where people who were supposed to help you didn't. Maybe you had to grow up too fast. So maybe you learned that asking for help led to disappointment. Or worse, vulnerability, and so most times some of these things were used against you, especially during your childhood, growing up, when you began to learn that you couldn't depend on anyone, especially the family or the people you were growing up with. So it began to affect you. Or you were in a relationship that where you felt betrayed. Could be romantic relationships, could be family connections, family dynamics, especially if you're coming from a toxic system. So you made a silent vow that I will do it myself. I want to share so many stories about this thing, so many examples, but then I really want this episode to be short. So that I will do it myself, in quote, mentality, you kept pushing it. So if right from childhood to your school days, to your professional life, to your marriages, your partnerships, your, wherever you had this I will do it mentality. So you began to carry it all. You began to be hyper independent. You began to not rely on anyone, because that way, you felt no one can let you down if you don't rely on anyone, especially in the issue of control, because you felt that if you don't rely on anyone, then nobody, can control you, which is actually true, because most people use your dependence on them, especially maybe emotional or financial dependence on them, against you. Most people would use it against you, actually people that are manipulative in their own ways. So fast forward to your career today. That survival mechanism has helped you climb the ladder, has helped you, close big contracts, big businesses. But then at what cost? Is it a chronic burnout because you refuse to delegate tasks? You refuse to ask for help? Is it the isolation because you don't know how to collaborate? You don't know how to share desks. You don't know how to share information. Is it the anxiety? Because the moment you can't control every variable, you feel unsafe. The moment you can't control everybody, the people around you, you begin to feel, jittery. So how do we move from hyper independence to, becoming healthy interdependence? Because it's not about being needy. It's not about, just always wanting people to support you. It's not about being needy at all. It's about becoming supported in a respectful way where nobody is taking advantage of you and you are also not taking advantage of anyone. Right? So how do we do that? Next time you feel, that physical clench in your chest when someone offers to help, just notice, tell yourself, I am safe. I am safe to receive support now. I'm no longer in danger. I'm not that kid anymore. I'm not that child anymore who couldn't depend on a parent, who couldn't depend on their uncle, who couldn't depend on the senior people they were growing up with, who couldn't depend on their guardian. I'm not that girl anymore who couldn't trust the man she was dating or she was married to. You are not that person anymore. You are in a safe space now. Delegate. Ask a colleague for a 5 minutes maybe recommendation for a tool or a 5 minutes proofreading of your work. It doesn't change anything. Look, the worst you can get from delegating tasks or asking for help is a no. That's the worst thing, is a no. And no doesn't remove any hair from your body. It doesn't change anything. Sometimes, yes, we are traumatized by that word because that is the word we grew up hearing. Everything, especially if you're battling some form of trauma from the childhood from childhood. You grew up hearing no. It's no. Everything was no. Even if you're doing it right, it was no. So begin to speak to yourself. When you wake up in the morning, before going on social media to see what's happening in the social media space, speak to yourself. Speak positive things to yourself. Smile. Look at yourself in the mirror and smile at yourself. Like I do for myself. I call myself fine girl. Look at this fine girl. You've got it. You've got it, but then in a supportive way. Allow love find you. So many of us are too hyper independent that we do not even allow people show us love. We do not know how to receive love. We may know how to give. Maybe giving is our love language. We may know how to give, but we do not know how to accept because we feel if we do, then we may be letting down our guard for some form of manipulation or things like that. But then practice the muscle of relying on someone else, especially in a low-stake environment. Things that that on a normal day with all your ADHD and your hyper-independence, you can do it yourself. Sometimes just let it out. Just give it to someone to do. Give someone to write that paragraph. Delegate, ask someone to, check that store. As a mother, ask that your child, that your teenage boy or girl to make that food, to pack that lunch. It doesn't reduce your prowess or your position as their mom. It doesn't. In fact, this is another topic, very strong topic on its own, because most women, especially if you're coming from the West African and African society, most women were trained to be wives and mothers, so that any other thing outside of the wife-mother environment is like they are missing their goal. They begin to feel, I'm not doing enough. So even if they were hyper-independent, taking on the family roles, paying the bills, working and coming back and doing, the house chores while the partner and the children are just there, they wouldn't mind because they were trained. They were trained to be that person. I'm telling you today, as a woman, as a mother, whether you're a housewife or a career woman, it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to delegate. Even if you're watching as a professional person today, as a boss, as a CEO somewhere, it is okay to delegate. Delegation can even be in, taking care of your body, making time out for your body, the vehicle that carries all that you are achieving. Yes, take out time for yourself. Calm down. Because real leadership is not doing everything yourself. It's not when you begin to do everything yourself that is real leadership. I'm really trying to make this video short, but then, it is what it is. Back in when I was doing my BFAM, I think I was head of decoration unit in the student campus fellowship. And on this day, I noticed that we went for meeting and then we were trying to decorate the altar. And everybody that was coming in was, looking tired, and some people were complaining they couldn't do the work and everything. I can remember my reaction till today. I was like, yeah, leave it, I'll do it myself. Yeah, it's okay, I'll do it myself. Guys, it's now I'm realizing that thing was a trauma response. It was a trauma response because I felt if I told them that I would do it myself, then it will not give me that, that place to ask them questions or to begin to have any form of conversation with them. That wasn't leadership. That was I'm sorry to say, stupid, hyper independence on my part. So it's not when you're carrying the whole load. It's not when you're carrying the whole family. You are the mental health expert in the family. You are the financial expert in the family. You are the doctor in the family. You are everything in the family. That's not when you become the wholesome woman. That's not when you become the CEO. That's not when you become the head of your home, right? It's when you are a part of a healthy whole. When real leadership now, when I'm trying to put my hand so that you see, you are interdependent on each other. Husband, wife, mother, child, children, their parents, in the office place, CEO, managers, the other staff. Interdependence. It's not when in the office place, you just want everybody to know that you are that guy. You are that guy. Just you are that guy. Meanwhile, in your head, when you go back to your bed at night, you're dying. Look, healing your career means healing your need to be the only one standing, to be the only one in the room, in that department. Healing your career means your ability to actually rely on your colleagues, to actually rely on others, your ability to say no sometimes. I'm going to stop here today. If this episode hits home for you, please, I want you to know that you don't have to carry the world on your shoulders to be worthy of your success. Look at, you've spent your whole life being strong. I don't know. It doesn't matter how old you are when you're listening or watching this episode. You spent your whole life being strong. It's okay to accept support now. It's okay to accept love now. It's okay to accept rest now. It's okay to be supported by good people now. My name is Rhoda, and this is Rhoda 360. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.